Hey there, this is Coach Sammy 33, a little behind in things, gonna work on trying to get some stuff caught up. So let's look at the Block 2 recap for FSU. We only had one game, we lose, taking the loss at home to Iowa State. So another one score game for the third game in a row. We have an opportunity to take the lead with under 2 minutes to go, and we fail this time. First game, turnover on downs. We get the score against Georgia in the end zone, and then against Iowa State, a bad interception, bad. So at 1-2, we're gonna head into conference play. We do have one more conference game or out of conference game. That's at the end of the season against Catman Big Mike. So let's see how things are looking for us before we head into ACC play. So statistically, we're still a work in progress, a quarter of the way through the season. 66 points through 3 games, an average of 22. 69 points on the other side, an average of 23. So what happens when you play close games, the scores are what they are. We obviously need to score more points, so we're going to work on that. First downs, 50. We've given up 56. Offense, 1,035 yards. Given up more, 1,179. Sensing a trend here. Rushing, this is a little bit better. Rush for 360 yards, big game against Iowa State. Oh, and then on the other side, 298. So plus on that side. Passing, not such a great game against Iowa State. England played great defense, and we gave up 881. So that's a problem. Another problem, and one stat that I tend to point to a lot, is third down. You don't want to get there, but when you do, you need to convert. We're converting at less than a 50% rate, which is better than half the league. The problem is we're giving up third down on 60% of the time. So that's not good. Fourth downs, we got to stop when we had to, but we're 2 of 4 on our end. And then red zone ratio, 4 TDs to 1 touchdown as opposed to 6 TDs to 2. Turnovers, a work in progress. We are +1. We need to get that higher. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to work on it. And then special teams, not really a big factor. And we have more kick return yards, but that's because we're giving up scores and we're taking them out the end zone. Punt returns, kind of negligible. And then the pass run ratio, pretty similar, 58 to basically 59 to 41. Defensively, is 58 to 42 if you round. We have to get that closer to a 50-50. I don't like passing the ball 60% of the time. The more you pass, you think the bigger the odds of big plays, but the way things are going right now, it's going to lead to more turnovers. We need to get the ground game going to open up some of the deep balls. Maybe that'll help get White involved in the action. Speaking of White, let's look at some player stats. So a quarter of the way through the season, Tommy, 57 of 80. Completion percentage of 71. I like that. 675 through 3 games, so 225 per game. 3 TDs, 3 interceptions. That I don't like. That needs to be a positive ratio and not, 4 to 3. I need that to be closer. I need that to be a good ratio. So that's not good. We will work on that. On the ground, 2 guys with over 100 yards. Williams, a buck 89, 2 touchdowns, a quote unquote fumble. Had it been challenged, it wouldn't have been. Sawchuk with a touchdown, 131 yards, big game against Iowa State. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. And then Webster and Tommy chipping in as well. In the receiving game, Pittman, another good game for him. 12 for 134 and a touchdown. Mr. White, through 3 games, 6 catches for 18 yards. That is terrible. Work in progress. We're trying to fix that. The only other person with over 100 yards, or at least 100 yards, is Webster. Check down, screen, and then Deuce Robinson and McCoy leading the way. Robinson with 93 yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown. McCoy 75 yards on 5 receptions. Work in progress this past game. Offensive line, Leonard and Pettis doing well. Both 9 pancakes, no sacks allowed. Take that. And then defensively, Kirkland, big game in terms of tackles, 12 tackles against Iowa State. He's got 28 on the season. Wilson second with 22. You'd like to think you don't really want your defensive backs with that many tackles. Problem is, teams are passing on us, so more than likely the secondary is going to be the one making the tackles on the back end. Then you see two linebackers following, Nicholson and Thompson, 16 and 15. Go from there. Backs. Through 3 games, 1. That's not good. Speaking of, Jackson, where were you? No stats, no tackles, nothing recorded against Iowa State. If he's going to be our impact player defensively, I need him to be impactful. He was definitely not. I do not need that in conference play, otherwise it's going to be a really long game. Interceptions, Nicholson and Brown chiming in now, so we've got 4 on the season in terms of passes defended, broken up, contested, however you want to slice it. 9 total, 4 interceptions. Don't like that ratio. Got to get it closer to 50-50, or at least on the other side, but for now, we'll settle for 50-50. And then 1 forced fumble on the season, Kirkland. We did not recover. We don't recover him offline either, so I can't say I'm super surprised about that. That's how things are standing right now defensively. Kicking, 1 for 1. Not a long one, nothing crazy. Punt, 1 of the 5 inside the 20, and then nothing special right now in terms of kick return. And then looking at our team sheet, where we stand at the moment. Strength of schedule is 32. Helps when 2 of your opponents are ranked. Boise 3 and 1. Offensive power rating 86. Yeah, that's a work in progress. Don't know how we're 28 defensively, but I'll take it. Doesn't feel like it, that's for sure. Total opponent record 27 and 14. Obviously, that will change once we get into conference play. Quad games 0 and 1, quad 2 0 and 2. Only 1 is in quad 3. And then that top 25 0 and 1, top 50 0 and 1, ranked 1 and 1, unranked 0 and 1. And then 1 and 1 versus P4. We have Florida left, and then the only G5 team will play for 0 and 1. Home games 0 and 2. Advantage is 26. That's a lie. Away, we're 1 and 0. And that's kind of how things look right now. We'll see once we get through block 3 and then take a look at the Massey to see where we sit. But you can just kind of see how things are looking right now in terms of our schedule, at least the conference schedule, where teams are sitting. Clemson will go up. Virginia Tech will go up. Offensively, you got Pitt and Wake Forest bombs away, so the secondary will get some work in those games. Defensively, we got Miami coming up. NC State playing really well. Just came off of playing Iowa State, so see how that goes. But before we end this, let's go back and take a look at the conference schedule. So, the next block, important. We're on the road against Virginia, and then we have our first rivalry game of the season against Mr. Corey, the Nasty, and the Miami Hurricanes. We have struggled at home. Man, we really need to get it together. But hopefully, we'll have a better performance overall in this game. And then just big picture, looking at what we have for the ACC, should be interesting. Got Virginia and Miami in the upcoming block. Then Pitt and Stanford. Stanford, a friend of the stream. He's seen me play a lot off and online, so I'm sure he'll have something ready. Pittsburgh, high-powered offense. After that, block 5, we've got Wake Forest. Definitely high-powered offense. As someone said in chat, NFL blitz scores with this game. And then, yeah, Clemson on the road again, at home against Virginia Tech, and then State. That's what conference play looks like. Not worried about Florida right now. Lock in the conference play. The key thing, though, is to try to get off to a good start. Got to remember, we do not play everybody. There are no divisions. It's quite messy. We'll have to figure things out. Also, figure things out with the Cup, too. Need to get in at least a game against South Carolina. That will dictate probably who goes to the next round. I say probably because as long as I don't get blown out, I mean, if I win outright, it would be me and Georgia Southern advancing. If I lose, it depends on how much. Iowa hasn't really been around as much, so I don't know if we'll be able to get that in. But focusing on conference play, the goal: go 5-3 and finish top 4 to get the point. That could be a big ask. So if you're looking at 5 wins, Miami and Clemson are tough. Pittsburgh, tough, high expectations for him. Wake Forest, offense, and then you have 2 vets, Virginia Tech, NC State. They're both playing well, both look good on the defensive side of the ball. Definitely will be a challenge, but the key, get off to a good start.